Hi Meredith, this is Mrs. Apt, and I wanted to take a few moments to walk you through the course to maybe show you where everything is and to see if this can help you with any of the problems that you might be having with the course. Okay, well first of all, this is the home page, and you see my teacher information is on the right hand side. You can scroll down and you'll see the syllabus and the checklist, and you're on the 12 weeks, so you would see click on those, and if you click, you will get, here's the syllabus. It should show up, and you can scroll down and get the week by week, day by day assignments, and anything that's in the gold box, that the gold box is a reminder that that's a due date, and the assignments are actually highlighted here in different colors. So when you see something in purple or red or whatever, that lets you know that that's an assignment coming up. Okay, so moving back. Below that you see a checklist, and if you click on that, the checklist shows you the due date, and it shows you exactly which assignments are due. It even has a little box that you can check them off. So we're coming up on the second due date, so you have these assignments that are due this week. Okay, moving down, let's see. Here is where you can join the synchronous session, right in here. The synchronous sessions are Tuesdays at 5. If you can't attend those, and a lot of people can't, I record them. In fact, if you look over on the left-hand side, this is your home page. The top part is the bulletin board, and then when you scroll down, you see news items. And here is a reminder that there's a class chat today at 5 p.m. And I'm going to show you an old one. Here's an older one. And after I've had that class chat, I will put a link to it right there in the news box. And there's also a link to it over here under links, user links, and those are all, so you can link to that recorded assignment either here on the right hand side or in the left hand side under the news items. Okay, so let's go to course content, go to course materials, click on content, and I'm impersonating you so that this looks exactly like the pages that you would see. And let's see, we're starting off with Decimus. And of course you have complete pages 1 through 3. Now when you click on that, that's going to take you to the content. That's actually the book of the class. That's the material. And here is the discussion. This was the very first assignment. And here are the questions listed down below. And there's a part 1 and a part 2 and a part 3. So you want to do all of those. And you can either access that by clicking here, and it will take you to the discussion page where you will answer your topic. And when you go down here, it says start a new thread, and you click on that and it will give you a place for you to type. And it says here that you must start a thread before you can read and reply to other threads. Remember that part 3 of the assignment is to look at the replies of 2 other students and comment on those. So what you would do is you would click and start a new thread, and you would type your post, and then down at the bottom you would click post. And once you've done that, when you scroll down, you're going to see lots and lots of different posts that you can respond to. Okay. The other way, let me go back to course materials. Okay, back at course materials, you have another option. Let me take you to pages 1 through 3. Okay, this is the actual content. So I started with page 1, and page 1 and page 2, they're similar for each module or a chapter. So this is going to give us an introduction, and let's go to page 2. You can access it at the top or at the bottom. Page 2 always looks the same for every module, and it gives you a guide as to how you would work through the course. Each module is set up as a pattern. The first thing that you do is you complete the module, do it page by page. Submit all assignments and complete all assessments. And then 3, after the final test for that module, the module test is graded, return to the content to complete either enrichment or remediation. Remediation is something you can do if you score 75 or below on the module test. If you score above 75, you can do the enrichment activity. And the enrichment activities are not terribly difficult. They're sort of fun, cultural, sort of extra credit type things that you could do. If you score 75 or below, you can do the remediation activity, but the remediation activity is the study guide. And the study guide is found on page 2, always on page 2, and it's listed over here in the left-hand bar. So you can click on that and download that. Then page 2 also tells you the essential questions. These are the things that you need to be able to answer at the end of the module. And it has key terms and what to expect. Key terms, if you scroll over the blue words, it will give you a definition or a description, just like that. And what to expect, this is a list of all of the assignments in this particular module. You'll have 2 discussion posts, a project, a practice sight reading, and we do those for every module, every chapter, and because you're learning the language, but the ultimate goal of the language is to be able to function in that language, and the main way to do that is to be able to read. And so that's our ultimate goal, and then you'll have your module test. Like I said, you can scroll to the next page either down here or up above. Okay. Then we get to 3. This is history. You have, these are called learning objects. I'll show you how one starts off here. Click here to begin, and you can click on these and they will give you information about each particular king. This is during the period of the kings for the Roman history. Then you have the Roman Republic, the second phase of Roman history, and then you move on to the Roman Empire. And there's important facts here that you need to know. Now, when you get to the discussion, here is the discussion, and it sort of gives you a background as to what to do. There is a video that you watch for part 2. If you click on the TV, it will take you to, it's a link, the little TV there is a link to the video. And for your discussion, there is a rubric over here on the left-hand side that tells you exactly how you're going to be graded. And if you follow the guidelines, which say, answer the following questions, and in part 2, talk about why you decided to study Latin and your reaction to the video. And did you find anything interesting in the video? Something maybe that you didn't know about the study of Latin before. And then, of course, you need to respond to 2 other students after that as well. So continuing through the module. Notice over here you still have the discussion rubric. You have maps that you can look at to give you more detail. The resources in the blue box are either handouts and things that you need or more resources that can help you dig deeper into a subject. So the main page here is really your textbook, but these are all the extra features that you need to be able to look at to dig into the subject matter. So we go through, and there are some blue items that you can click on for extra help and more information, and then here's some geography fact practice, and these are where you're going to, for example, you're going to click, and if you do it incorrectly, it'll throw it back. If you do it correctly, it will stay. So you can practice those and do those over and over again until you get those correct, because all these items will be on the final module test. And then there's some more practice down here. Let's see. Okay, so you match. It's just a matching activity, and if you click on it, you should get different choices here. So let's see. For example, like that. And then you can submit it and check your work. Now down here, once again, you have your discussion and part 1 and part 2, and remember that you always need to respond to 2 other students. And let's see, let's move to page 5. Okay, resources. There's lots of pronunciation on this. I'm going to move to the next one. There's lots of videos with audio there, so they all play at the same time sometimes when you click them, so I'm going to move on to that one. This is a TV, so this is a link to a little presentation or a video. Sometimes it's a PowerPoint, sometimes it's a video. Here's your rubric for your recitation project. Here's some extra notes. Here is a link to Vocaroo. This is where you actually can record your voice and then send me the link to that. That's the best way to do this project. Definitely watch the video here and do this activity like that. Another TV, so that you can listen. This is for part 1. That's a nursery rhyme in Latin that you're going to learn how to pronounce. These are part 2. You need to read these aloud and give the English translation. And here are more resources. There's a song over there. This is the verb to be. Sight reading practice right here, which is pretty easy. And moving right along, I'm sort of zipping through this here. And then you come to the wrap up. Okay, so here are some extra practice pages that you can do. There's the review study guide. Here's some practice with the verb to be. I'm going to go to, okay, so here is where you could do your discussion. It takes you back to the discussion page. I want to take you, let's see, back to assessments. So when you go back to at your home page, or you go back out, you can see assessments here. And when you click on that, you can click discussions, Dropbox, grades, or quizzes. If you go to discussions, it shows you the discussion page. I just showed you those earlier. The Dropbox is basically like an online file folder. And for each one of these, you have basically a little section of a folder where you would put your assignments. So your syllabus acknowledgement form goes here. Your pronunciation project, once you create it with Vocaroo, you would click on this, and it shows you, let's see, you would come down here and it tells you specifically, it reminds you what the assignment is, and here's the rubric, and it asks you some questions, and then you submit a file. You hit, add a file, or you can, I have trouble recording audio on this. Some people can, but my computer is missing something, doesn't want to record there. But you can just add your file, upload it, and then hit submit, and that will take you to that. When the other assessment is a grade. No, sorry, not grades, but, whoops, let's go to quizzes. Quizzes is when you click on the test, it's gonna send you to the test, and the tests are timed. You have a time limit, and you only get one chance to take a test, so or a quiz. So once you start it, make sure that you start it, and you will have that amount of time, and it'll tell you whether it takes 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever is the maximum amount of time. You want to make sure that you have that amount of time. It probably won't take you that long, but you definitely want to make sure that you have that amount of time set aside. So don't start it at the very end of a class period if you're at school, the bell's about to ring or something like that. Make sure that you have time to do that. And as you do each question, click, I think it says Save Answer, so that the answer is saved. Before you finally submit your test at the end, it will give you a chance to look back over your answers and make sure that you have an answer for every question, because if you don't, it's going to automatically be wrong. So that's sort of an overview. Once you've taken a test, you get feedback, and you can click on the feedback. I have on the home page, I'm going to take you to it before I end this video. I have news items here, and I want to show you all of the news items that we've been getting all along. There's a lot now, so I'm going to scroll down to the very bottom, and they're oldest down at the bottom, newest up at the top. So I have a welcome. This is a short video, 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes, about how to create a good discussion post and good responses to other students. So that's definitely worth your while to watch that. This is the late policy. This is a list of accepted file formats. So if you're sending it anything in Dropbox, make sure it is one of these accepted file formats, or it won't open. And if I can't open it, I can't grade it. So you want to do that. Here is a welcome class chat. Here is how to find feedback. So you'll see this icon, and you can click on this, and it takes you step by step as to how to see the feedback once you've submitted assignments and I've gotten them graded. I give feedback for every single assignment that you turn in. So there's always some kind of comment or message for you if there's something that you need to work on. And then let's see, here's chat reminders. There's the accepted file formats. This is a reminder that quizzes and tests are timed. They must be completed in one sitting. Be aware of the time limit. Don't start a quiz or test if you don't have time to finish it. You only get one chance, so plan your time accordingly. And it's a very good idea to thoroughly review or complete the study guide, especially for module tests, before attempting a quiz or a test. Actually, that would be a test. So my recommendation to you is to complete the study guide, to download it. You have a couple of options. You can do it as you work through the course. You study a couple pages at the end of that little lesson, maybe on verbs or pronunciation or whatever. Stop and do some of the activities in the study guide that pertain to that. You could also do it at the end before you take the test. So complete the